sunken costs, and when do you cut your losses? We'll talk about opportunity costs. Opportunity cost is a big thing. You know, how much do I get paid to coach youth sports versus if I would have taken on a second job, which one would I, which opportunity allows me to make more money? Well, I don't coach or teach for the money, so the opportunity does have value for me. But we'll definitely talk about opportunity cost. Opportunity is coming to teach this class while I'm having to pay someone to watch my kids. Am I paying more for someone to watch my kids than actually make it the class? But what opportunity do I get out of the class? So that's something that we'll talk about as well. Marginal benefits, marginal costs, profits are in the margins. Governmental influence. How does the government drive economic markets? Why are they in the markets? How do they affect the markets? We will talk about that. Could be an entire course. We could have 50 lectures on that. That could be a graduate level course. I don't want you to figure it out. I don't want you to have all the answers, but I at least want you to be aware of the different situations and the different things that the government or even private businesses can do to the market. We will talk about inflation and the GDP, the national debt. Why is the GDP down in the U.S., Germany, Japan? The GDP is down across the board worldwide, but gas prices are low. So, you know, what's going on there? What do some of the economists say that the reason for that? I also love conspiracy theories. So, as you go through economics, Google economics and conspiracy theories, especially with the Federal Reserve. You will see all kinds of things that are out there. Some of it I think does have some validity and some truth to it. Some of it gets a little kind of far off and a little wild, but we will definitely talk about that. Look up the Federal Reserve. I want you to know who they are, how they became to hold the positions that they do, and why do their decisions and actually their outlooks make such a great impact on our everyday life. We will talk about a bunch of controversial issues. With the election year coming up and the economy is responding the way that it has never responded before. Right now the Dow is down, the S&P is down, the NASDAQ is down. We're coming off the worst start of a year that we've had in 100 years in the stock market. But then we look at the employment rate. It's at an all-time low. Gas prices are lower than they've been in a long time. How do these two things go together? Why is the stock market weary, and why are some of the other economic indicators looking positive? So we'll definitely search through those. Economics, special economics professors feel like we can answer all those questions. Well, at least make predictions. I don't feel that we can answer all the questions, but I do think we can make some predictions, and based on history, we can see what's going to happen going in the future. A lot of economists say that we're headed towards a recession, and we'll talk about that as well too. Some think we're in a bullish market, but we'll go through those. What is the labor force participation rate, and why is it important? Who's in the market? Who's getting jobs? What kind of jobs are they getting? What jobs are available out there? Who is right? Who is wrong? We'll look at some of the data for that. Why are Americans not saving money? That's one of the big issues right now. Is we have the now generation that is coming through. They want everything right now. They do not want to wait at the first window. They want to pay at the first window, pick the food at the second window, and go. We have the now generation. I was at a conference recently in Dallas, and the speaker was talking about the generation that is getting to be our most prevalent in the workforce, is the first generation that does not want to do better than their parents. And so I had to think about that a little bit. And he talked about how that the generation that came out of the Civil War, you know, they wanted to make a better life for them, a better life for their family. They talked about the Industrial Revolution, that people worked hard and saved money so that their children could start having a better life. We went through the Great Depression, where everybody wanted to outdo or have a better life than their parents, even through after the World Wars in the 40s and 50s, and even in the 60s and 70s, the individuals who maybe were not out job searching or going full forth into economics, but they were trying to make a better world for their children. They were trying to do it through education and some of the other things that we got out of the 60s and 70s, some great music too. But and then even look at the 80s. We had a group of folks that were in the 80s that had the tech boom and all of that, and the information that was there and the money that was made in that. People were wanting to do better. But now this group of individuals that we have that are coming out into the workforce, the next generation, the generation that's going to take care of us, that generation seems to be okay with living at home and not outperforming their parents. They're okay with working 2 or 3 part-time jobs and not outperforming their parents. They're okay. Everybody gets a trophy. Everybody's happy. Why is that? Why is that generation not motivated, not taking on innovation to make things better? I don't think that the speaker was as right in all of his gloomy predictions, but he did hit on a point there. Being over student services and working with students a lot and hearing what some of them say, I do see a generation coming through the college ranks now, the younger generation, who are really not trying to outlive their parents. They just want to do enough just to get by. And quite often I'll ask the 18-year-olds or the 19-year-olds, how much is a thing of clothing detergent? When you wash clothes, how much do you pay for that? How much is a pound of hamburger meat? And you would not believe that they have no idea how much that stuff costs. They're basically just living for now. And so, but that's something that we'll talk about and we'll go into. And so think about the different generations of people that have come through, and think about the impact that they've had on the U.S. and U.S. economy, and think about where we're going forward. And I think that will open up some dialogue for us. Like we said, ever since the Civil War, all the way up through after the World War IIs, even the free-spirited individuals of the 60s and 70s that we talked about that produced such great music, all wanted to make America better and was a thriving force in the economy. Where are we going with that? How do we rejuvenate that? How do we rejuvenate that? How do we get that moving forward? That's something that I want us to explore. I want us to evaluate it and look at previous data. So I do think that this new generation has the ability. They have tools that we never had. Those of us who grew up in the 80s never had. But this new generation will be able to make some great strides. Just as educators, we have to figure out how to get them to take those chances and to have that initiative. But right now, a lot of the ones that I deal with, some of these new generations, when a student told me in a student disciplinary case the other day, he said, I asked him for his email address, and he said, email is for old people. And I thought, wow, how did email become for old people? But I guess it is. They do not use email now. They use Snapchat or Instagram or whatever the new and latest thing is. But I do think that we do have a great generation. They have the strongest tools of any generation. They have more resources ever available. We just have to figure out a way to get them to have the essential skills to get motivated. And in the immortal words of David Woodson from Dazed and Confused, this generation seems to be just all right, all right, all right. And so we got to figure out a way for them to make things better. I bet you didn't think you'd hear that in an economics class, did you? So, anyways, one of my favorite movies. Probably tells my age a little more than it should. But we'll look at other topics. How will the refugees, these refugees that are coming to America, how does immigrants coming to America affect our economic status? How has it affected the state of Alabama? These are some controversial topics that I do want us to talk about. I do want us to get into. We're not going to all agree, and we can agree to disagree, but I do want us to talk about them. I do want that when you're not in this class and you're with other groups of people, that you will be able to put an economic slant in a conversation that you're in. I realize this is a 200 level economics course, and I'm not going to want you to apply for a Pulitzer Prize I realize this is a 200 level economics course, and I don't expect for you to apply for a Pulitzer Prize after just taking this class. But I do want you to be able to hold conversation. Another big issue, median household income in 2009 was at approximately $55,000. Median income in 2014 is at $53,500. Why has the median income went down? Why are auto sales up and housing market still struggling? Why did the new gun proposal regulations increase gun sales? Isn't that the craziest thing? We proposed gun regulations to keep people from buying gun sales, and everybody went out and bought guns. So that's something that we can talk about too. I know we will not solve these issues, and I don't want to try to change your mind status, and I don't want to try to change how you feel about certain situations. I just want you to be able to hear both sides and be able to have open dialogue. I want this class to be one of the best and most information-driven classes in the social sciences that you've ever had. One of my favorite things to do, that I love to do, because I see both sides to everything. I'm not far left on one issue or far right on another issue. I love, and this may be an assignment that we have going forward, but what I like to do is when a topic comes out or something that's going on in the media, is to watch, say, MSNBC and hear how they value the issue, or how they think that the issue is affecting America, especially in the economy, and then turn back around and watch Fox News and see how they feel that it's affecting the economy. So we may do an assignment where we take a topic, and then I'm going to require each of you to identify the two sides of each topic and write about those, so that you can see that how people can use economic status and standings and statistics to fit what they feel their value is in it. So we'll talk about that.